The Oscars are 2 days away, and I am here to give you my predictions for the 88th Oscars. Who will gain the privilege of having Academy Award winner before their name on the opening credits of a movie trailer? We shall find out. Here are my predictions for all the awards I will not be discussing, because I don't really care about them. The first award I will be discussing is Best Original Screenplay. We've got Matt Sharman and the Coen Brothers for Bridge of Spies, Peter Docter, Megan LaFouve, and Josh Cooley for Inside Out, Tom McCarthy, Josh Singer for Spotlight, Alex Garland for Ex Machina, and a bunch of white guys for Straight Outta Compton. This country. I think you can go ahead and knock out Bridge of Spies right away. It's based on history. It's not that original. You know who made that original? The United States and the Soviet Union for being in a Cold War, okay? So not really that original. Inside Out is good. I think Inside Out could be the spoiler here. But the predicted winner is going to be Tom McCarthy and Josh Singer for Spotlight, because this is Hollywood, and they hate religion. And this movie was about how the Catholic Church was just covering up all their molestation for all of the 1990s. The 80s and the 70s, and you know it was a great film, but that's really not that original either. I mean, they just wrote a script based on what really happened. The predicted winner here is Spotlight, but the deserved winner should be Alex Garland for Ex Machina. Ex Machina was one of the best movies of the year. It took all the tropes of the artificial intelligence movie and just spun them on their head. It was the most original screenplay, and it, you know, quite frankly, was the best one. But the winner here is Spotlight. Now we go to Best Supporting Actor. Now, Best Supporting Actor, there are some great performances in this category, but I think there was some filler. You've got Christian Bale for The Big Short, Tom Hardy for The Revenant, Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight, Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies, and Sylvester Stallone for Creed? Yikes. Christian Bale, I think you could get rid of right away. He's not going to win this. He wasn't even the best actor in that movie. The best supporting actor in that movie was Steve Carell. I don't know how Christian Bale got the nomination. Oh, look at me, I'm offbeat and I'm weird and I don't wear shoes and I played Batman. No, get out of here. Mark Rylance, it's a good performance, but it's kind of a one-note performance. Bridge of Spies is a good movie. I think it was overrated because it had Tom Hanks and Spielberg in one film, and so you can get rid of him. Mark Ruffalo was the whole cast should have been really nominated for Spotlight. Everybody was so good, equally good. There wasn't really a standout. I think really might have been Stanley Tucci, to tell you the truth. But Mark Ruffalo's not winning this award. So it comes down to Tom Hardy and Sylvester Stallone. And the whole thing about the Academy is they love a comeback story. They love to see the big star from the 70s and 80s come on and win his Oscar in, the twilight of his career. Yeah, that's why they gave it to Eddie Redmayne instead of Michael Keaton, right? Yeah, give me a break. Sylvester Stallone is not winning this. One, because Tom Hardy gave a better performance, so he is the predicted winner, and he is the deserved winner. Tom Hardy in The Revenant was better than Leonardo DiCaprio. It was some of the best acting he's ever done in his career, probably the best acting, and he will win this award. Next award, Best Supporting Actress. You have Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight, Rooney Mara in Carol, Rachel McAdams in Spotlight, Alicia Vikander in The Danish Girl, and Kate Winslet in Steve Jobs. Right off the bat, I think you can knock off Jennifer Jason Leigh. The Hateful Eight is a good movie, but I don't even think she was the best part of that, and she is in a very competitive category this year. Rachel McAdams in Spotlight, also not the best actor in that movie, so there's no way she would win Best Actress going against these up against these other three actresses. Rooney Mara in Carol was fantastic. I think Carol was probably the best acted movie in terms of the two leads with Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara, but the predicted winner here is going to be Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs. Kate Winslet in Steve Jobs was fantastic. She had to act with the Russian accent for the whole movie. It's a very talkative movie. Aaron Sorkin likes those soliloquies and monologues, and he's obsessed with it. So the predicted winner here is Kate Winslet, and the actress who deserves it is Kate Winslet. It was the best performance for a supporting actress of the year, hands down. Now we go to Best Actor, and no matter what you think about Oscars So White, there is no denying that there was some snubs in Best Actor, and they just happened to be black actors. Idris Elba for Beasts of No Nation, Michael B. Jordan for Creed, Samuel L. Jackson for The Hateful Eight. I don't know how any of those three actors were not nominated over Matt Damon for The Martian. He's playing Matt Damon. He played Matt Damon for 2 hours talking to a GoPro, talking to the cam on his laptop. I mean, The Martian, think of what you want as a movie, but Best Actor for playing in The Martian? What? But, we got Bryan Cranston for Trumbo, Matt Damon for The Martian, Leonardo DiCaprio for The Revenant, Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs, and Eddie Redmayne for The Danish Girl. Right off the bat, you can cross off Eddie Redmayne. He's not getting back-to-back. Bryan Cranston for Trumbo, no. Bryan Cranston might be the greatest living actor of all time besides Cate Blanchett. I think Cate Blanchett could have played Walter White. I think maybe they should do an all-female reboot like Wanda White and Jessica Pinkman. But Bryan Cranston's not getting this. It really comes down to Leonardo and Michael Fassbender, and the predicted winner is Leonardo DiCaprio. Everybody seems to think that this is his year. It's not a particularly strong category right now. He is very good in The Revenant. I think if you put him up against some of the best actor winners of previous years, he would not win this. But the most deserved winner is Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender, out of these 5 guys, was the best actor this year. Just having to act that Aaron Sorkin script with just so many lines of dialogue. Somebody really needs to count how many words this man says. It was like, a 5,000 word essay. It was unbelievable. And he's so good at Steve Jobs. He looks nothing like Steve Jobs, but while you're watching this movie, you're thinking, oh my God, that's Steve Jobs. So the predicted winner, Leonardo, who should win it, is Michael Fassbender. Now, Best Actress is, there's so many great actresses up for the award this year. This is the most competitive one, even more so than Best Actor. Whoever wins Best Actress this year is the best actor of 2015 because it's so competitive. You have Cate Blanchett for Carol. You have Brie Larson for Room. You have Jennifer Lawrence for Joy. You have Charlotte Rampling in 45 Years. And you have Saoirse Ronan in Brooklyn. Right off the bat, I'm getting rid of Charlotte Rampling because I don't even know who that is. I've never even heard of that movie until I just did this recording, to tell you the truth. And I think I'm a movie buff. I pride myself on watching every movie. Never even heard of it. So she's getting the boot. Then you go Jennifer Lawrence for Joy. I think... No, she's won it before. I don't think they're going to give her another one so soon. And especially for Joy, that wasn't really a great movie. It wasn't even a good movie. It was kind of a bad movie. It might be the worst movie she's ever been in, except for that horror film that she was in once. What was that? Like the 13th House on the left? Something. So then you got Brie Larson, Cate Blanchett, and Saoirse Ronan. The predicted winner is Brie Larson, because the hype around this movie, what she did with that, just her and the boy Jacob, whatever his name was, just for the majority, well, not the majority, but the first 40 to 45 minutes, it's just her and this other boy. And she gives such an incredible performance. It's such an emotional performance. The way she just, loses herself in the sorrow and the depression of this character. She's a predicted winner, but who deserves it was Cate Blanchett. Cate Blanchett in Carol was the best acting of 2015. Male or female, best actor, best supporting actor, best actress, best supporting actress. Cate Blanchett was the top tier performance of 2015. If you haven't seen Carol, you have to see this movie. She's just so confident. She just dominates every scene that she's in, and her stage presence, her film presence is just unbelievable. Cate Blanchett might be the greatest living actor we have today. And that is who deserves to win it, but quite frankly, if Brie Larson comes away with this, you can't really be that disappointed, because it was just such a great year for women in film with all of these performances. And Saoirse Ronan, what a great performance as well, but not her time. So the predicted winner, Brie Larson. Who deserves it? Cate Blanchett. Moving on to Best Director, in this year's category, we have Tom McCarthy for Spotlight, Adam McKay for The Big Short, George Miller for Mad Max Fury Road, Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu for The Revenant, and Lenny Abramson for The Room. Now, once again, I don't know what your opinion is on Oscars So White, but to tell you the truth, Ryan Coogler really deserved to be in the Best Director category for Creed. I think it was almost an impossible task to bring life back into this franchise, and it was just one of the best directed films and best written films of 2015. But I think you're not going to see an Adam McKay win. I think that was more of a, hey, look at the comedy guy who's doing dramas now. It was like, maybe in the future, but not for The Big Short. Tom McCarthy for Spotlight. Once again, I don't think that's a hard film to direct. I think the material is, it's very generous, so he's not going to win. It really comes down to, it's a three-man race between George Miller, Alejandro, and Lenny Abramson. My money is on George Miller. I think it's going to be really, very close between Alejandro and George Miller, but Mad Max Fury Road was the best directed movie of 2015. It's one of the best directed movies of all time. I mean, the task to do the majority of the film with practical effects, to film it in Australia, just the rigorous shoot that it took. I mean, all the actors were complaining about it. And if you watch the movie, it's like, how did he think of these angles? How did he get these masterful shots? I mean, what an imagination. This man deserves to win it for 2015. But The Revenant, if you've seen it, it's one of the most beautiful films ever shot. The naturalistic look, the cinematography, the single-shot takes that Inarritu has become familiar with. The Revenant is one of the most beautifully crafted movies of 2015, but it's not a great movie. It's a very good film directed by one of the best directors of all time, but I don't think that warrants a Best Director win. And it's going to be hard for this man to win it 2 times in a row. I'm not sure if it's ever happened before, and if it has, it's very rare. And Lenny Abramson, I mean, this is the classic case of if these guys were nominated in separate years, they would have won individually. Because what Lenny Abramson did to be able to direct a child actor for almost an hour, just in one room with one other actor, just a terrific job. But my predicted winner is George Miller, and who deserves it is George Miller. Now we get to the big one, Best Picture. For 2015, we have Spotlight, The Big Short, The Revenant, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, and Room. I think right off the bat, you could say The Big Short, The Martian, Bridge of Spies, Mad Max Fury Road. These movies are not winning Best Picture. A lot of people think Mad Max was the best movie of 2015, but I think the Academy would be being very generous to give this the Best Picture movie. It is a great film, but just knowing the voters, they're not going to vote this the Best Picture. The Big Short is not Best Picture quality. Bridge of Spies, I don't know how that got in there. I think there are many other movies that were better in 2015. The Martian's not winning it. No way. That was just like, oh, look, Ridley Scott and Matt Damon finally made a good movie again. Then it comes down to Spotlight, Brooklyn, Room, and The Revenant. Now, my predicted winner is going to be Spotlight because of it. Spotlight is a great movie. It is Best Picture material. It really caters to the beliefs of Hollywood, to the left-leaning Hollywood. I could see The Revenant winning it because of how well directed it is and how popular the movie has become with mainstream audiences. I mean, it's known to be the movie that's going to garner Leonardo DiCaprio his first Oscar. They're familiar with the director, and it's got a lot of good word of mouth, and it's a very beautiful film. But in my personal opinion, the best movie of 2015 was Brooklyn. Now, this is not a movie that a lot of people know about. It's not, the audiences aren't familiar with it, but it is one of the best stories told in a film. It's about an Irish immigrant who comes over to America, who doesn't know the culture, who has to adapt, homesick. There's a love triangle. It's just so well done. It's perfectly acted. It has a great script. It has great nostalgia for the people who lived in Brooklyn, New York in the 1950s and 60s. It's beautifully directed. It's beautifully done. But I don't see it getting that much recognition from the Academy. I don't really hear a lot of people talking about this film winning Best Picture. I think Room can maybe be a pleasant surprise, but I think the predicted winner here is Spotlight. And who deserves it is Brooklyn. But this is going to be the hardest one to predict. It's really comes down to a two-man race. The Revenant and Spotlight. My money is on Spotlight, but do not be surprised if The Revenant wins this. Well, there you have it, my predictions for the 88th Oscars. Enjoy the show, enjoy the weekend, and don't forget to floss!